Mel Mel never left. Well, Mel left, but they never really gave us the reason why Shorty left or whatever like that. Um, and I think anytime a host leaves, nowadays we kind of used to it on podcasts. Back when Rory and Maul left, that was like a new thing. Like, oh crap, like what's gonna happen? Like, is this over with? That was like a new thing. So we kind of used to on a certain podcast. I think Math Hoffa made it like a regular thing. Math Hoffa kind of took over that lane. That's a Math Hoffa type beat. But anyway, so Mel left or whatever. They won't really give us the answer, and they kind of, I'm not gonna say they replaced the Ramona, but pretty kind of sorta. And I'll be honest, I like both of them. Um, I think Mona's funnier. I think Mona gives out more. She tells more stories, but she always kind of been that way. I think Joe kind of wanted Mel to be more open, to show more personality. And the reality is, they never had that discussion because it's obvious that Mel's trying to more so go like she's trying to put it like this. Her image was never like super dirty anyway. Like it's never, even if Mel was like a stripper or like a rap groupie for mad years, who knows? But her image was never like this hood rat that's gonna tell all the rap stories. Like she's not Superhead. Like Mel was like the Superhead that went to college. You feel me? Like so I think her coming up there, the way that she show up on these talk shows and these podcasts and stuff like that is more so to be like to show up with class, demure, to show up like on some classy shit. Even when you looked at her and Maya interview, when you check out her podcast, it's more classy, like more like she going in that lane, which I think that makes sense for her. I'm not going to even hold you. I don't think that the rap gossip lane even really makes that much sense for her, bro. Talking about Drake beefing and shit like that, I don't think that makes sense for her. I think it does make more sense for her to start a podcast about mental health and skincare and all of that. It makes sense for her lifestyle, just the way that she move, the way that she think, where her heart is as an older woman. People, Mel looks good, but people forget, she's an older woman. Even somebody like Ish, like, you don't necessarily age out of hip hop, but Ish might not be necessarily passionate about Tekashi 6ix9ine Vlad interviews at 50 years old. Some people are, but the reality is you kind of age out of things. But I think the difference between Mel and Mona is that Mona is more so willing to be open. She more so wild. She more so, this ain't her. This is all by chance. You feel me? Mona's a girl from I think she's from Delaware. Yeah, she from Delaware, like the hood in Delaware, and she grew up between Delaware and Philly, and she made her name out there, and she just was like a regular girl on the block who just happened to go viral on Instagram, and just who happened to get picked up by Gillian Wallow, and just who happened to get enough attention to start her own podcast and go up from there. So this is all literally like by chance. Like I'm pretty sure Mona never really wanted to be like a super celebrity or nothing like that, or like somebody who's doing this. Like she just was probably always the funny chick or whatever, just locally. So this is like it's from like a new, it's like some new energy, bro. It's almost like it's gonna be a wild reference, but it's almost like Jay-Z. The thing that Jay-Z put out there is like, nigga, I had money before rap. Like I was rich before rap. I had changed cars before rap. The relevance of that and why that's important is because that meant that, like, yo, nigga, I'm just doing this shit for fun. Like, this is like, I'm good without this. I don't need this. I really love this. It's the same for Mona. Like, I feel like Mona is one of them people who, she'll be good if she was on Section 8 in Mississippi or something like that. And she'll be good if she's, on a JBP. I think she one of those people who never really give a fuck about this. Like none of this shit. Like, she just being her 100%, which that's a rare commodity. Like that's a rare thing. Because even look at Joe. Joe, he wanted to be a rapper. He wanted to be famous. Mel wanted to be a model and be famous. She went to New York. Ice and Ish, they probably never wanted to be famous, but they kind of wanted to be in the spotlight a little bit. When you becoming friends with rappers and you going to different rap events and stuff like that, you kind of networking, you in a mix. They wanted to be in a mix. I don't think Mona ever wanted to be in a mix. I ain't even seen no pictures of her where she was at a Meek Mill concert 5-10 years ago. I feel like 5-10 years ago or 10 years ago, nigga, she was in the hood with her family cooking dinner for everybody. She ain't give a fuck about none of this shit. So it's a real person. It's a real personality. It's real. But Digital Thugs them out. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching.